On September 24th, the people of Kosovo woke up to the news of a police sergeant killed and another one wounded in the early morning hours. That day, the Republic of Kosovo was a target of an act of aggression by Serbia through terrorist and paramilitary groups. Today, I want to take a moment to honor the memory of now hero of Kosovo, Afrim Bunjaku, whom we lost as he was defending the territorial integrity and sovereignty of our republic. Heroes like Afrim Bunjaku remind us on a daily basis how precious freedom is and how vigilant we ought to be to defend it. May he rest in peace, and his memory serve as a reminder to all of us of the imperative of standing up to authoritarian and malign forces, not just in the Western Balkans, but all around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, after the 24th of September, everything has changed and much remains a constant at the same time. On one hand, Kosovo's commitment to protecting our sovereignty, promoting and advancing rule of law and democracy, as well as fostering positive neighborly relations, remains unwavering. On the other hand, Serbia's determination to destabilize the region, to occupy land, and to replicate Milosevic's and Putin's playbooks is at its peak. What Serbia expected to happen that day was to succeed in its Crimea-style planned annexation of the north of Kosovo. What Serbia was caught in by surprise is the unwavering determination and professional response of the Kosovo police forces. During the attack and ever since, Kosovo institutions have maintained close coordination with international security presence in the country. As has been the case historically, Kosovo will continue to work closely with allies and partners to counteract such acts and to prevent them from ever happening again. These terrorist groups and paramilitary forces have been financed, trained, armed, and received political support and shelter from one source, the Republic of Serbia. Let me turn to the first element. The financing of these two terrorist organizations called Civilna Zaštita and Severna Brigada has been constantly coming from the state institutions of Serbia. They, in fact, don't even hide it. They appoint them as parallel, albeit illegal and criminal structures to function in the Republic of Kosovo and then give them monthly payments. Before the terrorist act this September, these groups were engaged in terrorizing, intimidating, and threatening Kosovo Serbs who live in Kosovo, and engaged in attacking NATO soldiers. Let me repeat, paid by Serbia, financed by Serbia to attack none other than Kosovo Serbs. Now turning to the second element, the training of these terrorist organizations. As the investigation shows, there's been constant military-type training of these terrorist groups in the military bases of Serbia, including in Pasulanske Livade and in Raška. There's video evidence of it, and Serbia state institutions, especially defense institutions, even proudly admit training these terrorist organizations. Moving on to the third element, the arming. The weapons that we have confiscated from the terrorists only that day amount to weapons that can be used by as much as 400 people. Most of them are military-grade weapons that are only produced in the military state industry of Serbia, many produced in 2022 and some only 6 weeks before the attack. The weapons and armored vehicles were smuggled in through illegal routes, and some of the arms came in through vehicles with false NATO signs on them that these terrorists had put on their armored vehicles full of weapons, including full of little green men uniforms. Sounds familiar, right? And finally, the fourth and perhaps the most important element, the political support by and the sheltering of terrorists in Serbia. Radojcic, the leader of the terrorist group who openly admitted being in charge of this attack, is one of the closest collaborators and partners of Serbia's president. He even sits in National Security Council meetings in Serbia, right next to the Serbian president, and is still walking free around Serbia, despite admitting leading that attack. In addition to that, Serbia made sure to announce a day of mourning for those terrorists who killed a police officer while defending our country from aggression. Whether in the south or the north, east or the west, the police's unwavering mission is one and only: instilling trust, safety, and security in neighborhoods and communities across the entire country. Mr. President, Council members, while Vučić aims to cover his true intentions, his acts reveal his underlying motives. He wants more territory. It is that simple. It is, however, that much concerning. And to everyone acting in disbelief that someone would do something like that and use the 90s tactics in 2023, I say, rationality always parts ways with autocrats. Rationality stands no chance among malign intentions, expansionist appetites, and imperialist ambitions. It is utterly unfortunate that Serbia sees violence as a solution to everything. Only in the past few months, Serbia abducted 3 Kosovo police officers within the Kosovo territory, attacked countless journalists, as well as attacked 93 KFOR soldiers through their illegal gangs. And as confirmed by the White House National Security Council, there has been, I quote, a large Serbian military deployment along the border with Kosovo. Calling it a destabilizing development, the statement went on confirming, I quote, unprecedented staging of advanced Serbian artillery, tanks, mechanized infantry units. Serbia only pulled some of its troops from the border after the U.S. warnings that it could face punitive measures. But significant military forces continue to be permanently based in the area, with Serbia's 48 forward operating bases around the border with Kosovo. I keep repeating, and I will say this again to every Serb living in Kosovo. Kosovo is your home as much as it is mine. I want to work with each and every one of you to make it a home where you prosper and thrive and contribute to make it a better place for all.
Let me first reiterate the U.S. commitment to maintaining stability in the Western Balkans. My government strongly condemns the violence perpetrated by armed assailants on September 24 in the north of Kosovo, which led to the death of a Kosovo police officer. The September 24 attack revealed a direct threat to the safety of Kosovo citizens and put at risk NATO and EU personnel. There must be full accountability in accordance with the rule of law for perpetrators of the attack. Individuals who fled to third countries should be extradited or prosecuted as appropriate. The United States is working closely with the EU and NATO partners to help keep the north of Kosovo calm and to deter escalatory measures by either party. We caution both sides against uncoordinated or escalatory actions and urge their immediate return to the EU-facilitated dialogue, prepared to take concrete steps forward. It is important that the parties make progress in implementing all dialogue commitments.
However, I will begin my statement today by bringing to your attention a serious security incident that took place on the 24th of September near Banjskë village of Zvečan municipalities in northern Kosovo. Early in the morning that day, a Kosovo police officer was killed, and 2 others were injured at the entrance of the village, which has been blocked by 2 vehicles. Over the course of the day and into the evening, Kosovo police and heavily armed elements engaged in gunfire exchanges, resulting in 4 deaths and a number of arrests. The Kosovo police seized a significant number of vehicles, military equipment, and weapons. UNMIK joined the international community in unequivocally condemning the incident and the tragic loss of life and calling for restraint. It is essential that the investigations currently underway provide the opportunity to factually document these events and hold perpetrators accountable. The major events on 24th of September exacerbated an already deteriorating security environment, characterized by an atmosphere of mutual suspicion and contradictory perceptions touching much of the population, especially in northern Kosovo and among Kosovo Serb communities elsewhere in Kosovo.
Mr. President, from what we can all see on the ground, based on numerous examples in the past 12 months, the officials in Pristina, the administration in Pristina, regrettably, I have to say, to put it in the simplest form, have only three key messages for Serbs, other non-Albanians, and the international community. And all that we are seeing in these reports and all that is happening every day on the ground can be summed up in these three key messages. First message is, those Serbs who left after 1999 or during the ethnic cleansing, the pogrom of 2004, should not come back. They are not welcome. It is deeply disturbing. It is unfortunate, but it is also embarrassing that Kosovo and Metohija remains, according to all relevant UN reports, a territory which, compared to all post-conflict territories in this whole crazy world of ours, has the least number of returnees. Less than 2% of displaced people returned to Kosovo and Metohija. Less than 2%.